tinier than his little finger. Welcome to another, I think, short episode of Vet in a Van. We haven't really been doing a great deal of filming at all over the last couple of weeks here on Elcho Island, but I did, in the last episode, I did say that I would give a bit more of a history of Elcho Island. It's fish just there. That's kind of cool. And so I thought I'd start at the beginning, right at the beginning. So let's go back about 50,000 years, maybe even 60,000 years. So for those of you who don't know, we're actually smack bang in the middle of an ice age. It's been going for a very long time. There's been 5 major ice ages and we're in one of them right now. It just so happens that we're in a very nice temperate intermission of said ice age. Now that intermission started about 50,000 years ago, and if you were to wind the clock back 50,000 years at all of that out there, so sea level was about over 100 metres lower than it is right now, because all of the ice was still locked up in the polar ice caps. And so there was a land bridge, and well, firstly, Papua New Guinea was joined to Australia, and then sort of an archipelago chain went all the way through to Asia, which meant that humans could actually come across that bridge, and that they did. And that's when our First Nations people first came to Australia. Now it's debatable whether that was 50, 40, 60,000 years ago, but let's just say a long time. And then the polar ice caps receded, the intermission in the ice age came through, and the sea levels rose over 100 metres. And Australia became its own island, and our First Nations people remained isolated on Australia for tens of thousands of years. And so that's why when I talk about the Yolngu as an ancient people, they are one of the oldest surviving civilizations that exist on the planet today, because they have been around for 40 or so thousand years. And so anyway, fast forward the clock. They didn't have any contact with any human people all the way up until probably about the 1500s, thereabouts, debatable, where the Macassans, who were traders, and they were looking for a sea slug. It was a trepans, I can't remember, I'll put it down there. But it was a Chinese delicacy, and so they landed. They used to come here in the wet season from about the 1500 onwards, and they now modern day Indonesians. And so they came down here and they fished during the wet season and they went back, and they actually established a very good trading relationship with the Yolngu people here in East Arnhem land. And they did so for hundreds of years, where they traded technology, cloth, medicine, etc., etc. So that lasted for a few hundred years in peace and harmony until white man arrived. Now, I think the first white man or first Dutch explorers came through here in about 1620. There were 3 ships in total. One of them was called the Wessel, another one was called the Arnhem, which is now named East Arnhem after the Dutch trading vessel, and the Wessel Island chain, which Elcho Island is part of that chain. Now, Elcho is a Yolngu word, but the Wessel Islands is named after the Dutch explorer. So they just came past and they charted, and it wasn't until Matthew Flinders came past in about the 1800s or so, early 1800s, that he actually named the island after those ships, I believe, because it had it in the charts, because he was using those ships' charts. And then it wasn't until about the 1920s that a mission first opened up here on Elcho Island, and that's obviously when things sort of started going pretty downhill. And I think all across Arnhem land with farming and whatnot, there was the clash of cultures between the Yolngu and the white man, and that didn't turn out very well in our unfortunate history that we have here in Australia. Well, some things that we'd like to forget, let's put it that way, and not get too controversial. And so I think it was back in the 1970s that the island essentially got self-management and the missionaries left. And yeah, not a lot has changed since. It's still one of the largest Yolngu Indigenous communities in all of East Arnhem, if not the largest, and is a powerhouse of culture and art and songlines, and the people are amazing, and it's been just the last 6 weeks have been amazing. So I don't think this is going to be a big episode, and sorry for harping on a hell of a lot, but I did think I'd just give the context of a bit of history behind where we are. But yeah, I'm just going to put in, I don't know, it's just some random bits and pieces, drone shots, some of the footage that we got, but we didn't get a lot. And then I guess we'll talk to you next time, so enjoy. And here we are again, returning to the scene of the crime. It's about 6:30. The tide's probably just about at the top, close to. And it is beautiful out here. It's just beautiful. So maybe I'll catch some fish, maybe I won't. But one thing I will be treated to is an absolutely majestic sunrise right there. Anyway, let's have a fish. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Queenies are so much fun. Come on. Here we go. Out you come. Out you come. There we go. There we go. Now that is a queenie. Oh, yep. Yep. It's good. It's good. Oh, she's a nice one. Oh, it's a big fish. Going back out into the ocean. Nice and slow. That's a good fish. There she goes. Where else, land-based, can you do stuff like this? I tell you what. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh. So I can actually get it in. Oh, that is a big fish. That is a big fish. That is not a queenie. Oh, it is it? It's a trevally. Oh, I think that's a trevally. Oh, I tell you what. East Arnhem fishing. That is a GT. That is a horse of a GT. That is epic. Absolutely epic. There you go. East Arnhem fishing. Very rewarding. Very, very rewarding. So how did we do after all that? I don't know how much of the GoPro worked or didn't work, but let's start with one very big queenie. One big queenie. One stonker of a golden trevally.
Silver trevally.
Oh, it looked like it was golden. It looked like it was golden when I caught it. Maybe it's just a silver trevally. It's gold on. It's got the gold there, and it had the gold on the base. We'll see. It's a trevally either way. And last but not least, another monster of a queenie. So that one, and that one, but no mud crabs. So I guess we'll call it a win. Oh, happy days, happy days. Clean all these guys up now. Thanks, honey. I said at the beginning of this video that I think it was going to be a short one, and it probably will. I forgot I had that fishing footage, so I'll pop that in. And the rest of it, I'm just going to pop in just some footage from our weekends hanging out with our Yolngu family, crabs and getting muddy in the mangroves and just hanging out and whatnot. Nothing too exciting, but some pretty interesting foods that Tanya and I tried for the first time. So yeah, I'll just drop that footage in, and that's probably it for this episode, because yeah, as I said before, we haven't really done a lot of filming, but yeah, enjoy our experience. I'll drop some footage in now, and we'll see you next time.
Very pretty.
What? Takut mama nang ini.
A little birthday cake.
Bus.
Alright, right.
Charge ya.
Right out.
It's very low. Good job. Alright, we won't sprinkle it near the would be a half. 3/8 would be just less than a half, but not quite a quarter.
More like 12/8.
12/8. Well, 12/8 is going to be 1 1/4, isn't it?
And more?
Oh, you're very nice.
Good.
Oh, look at the dead bud, yeah.
Snails.
Snails. What were these snails called? Dongo.
Dongo.
Mangrove snail. Mangrove snail.
Dongo.
So to get them out, they're cooked. So we put them in the fire to cook them. And then now, just all right.
Yeah, you're doing well, Tom.
Hey, look at that.
Hey.
Woo!
Yum.
Yeah.
See, mangrove worm, absolutely delicious.
Wow.
It's I don't know what the flavour is. It's quite its own unique flavour. It's a bit salty, but
Sweet.
sweet. Yeah, there's a little bit of sweetness to it as well. But it's very nice. Very nice. You have to get this muck out of them first, otherwise they don't taste very good at all. Which is hard to do. Oh, I'm going to have to wash that one later.
Kurang atuin na pronto shop ko na mata na buto tono parandol jela.
Can I try a bit of fish? Can I try some fish?
Yeah, then you'll find it.
There we go.
What's the green bit?
Oh. You tried one of these before, Dad?
Not to eat.
What are they called?
Take the green part off.
The green part off?
Long bum.
Long bum. Long bum.
Nunda.
Nunda.
Nunda. Nunda. Yo. This bit off? This bit good? Bit mana? It's like a scallop. It's actually really nice. It's actually very nice. Yeah, mamak.